Chapter 3 Season 3 was the only Fortnite season that I could just not bring myself to play. But don't let the lack of tolerable gameplay fool you, creators were truly vibing this season, so let's talk about it. Hello and welcome back to Creative in Review, the seasonal series where I talk about the additions to Fortnite Creative over the season, and how good, bad, or just plain mid they were. Let's jump back into Chapter 3's summer season with 21.0. Chapter 3 Season 3 launched on June 5th, 2022, and I played approximately one match of Battle Royale before realising it was terrible, so I just started playing creative. So, what did they add? The physics trees introduced in Chapter 3 were added as the first physics-based device to use the latest Unreal Physics engine. If you knock down one of these pine trees, the logs fall and roll around, which is really unique and a huge step for real-time physics in creative. Unfortunately, as a result of the unique systems, the tree costs about 9,000 memory, or roughly 1/10 of the total allotted memory per island, to place. So yeah, it could be more viable if the memory wasn't so high. The physics boulder was also added as a rolling rock variant of the tree. It's just a rock that rolls around Indiana Jones style, and the memory is better than the trees, so it certainly is more viable to use, but still, the high memory really does detract from its utility. The level instance device was added. It basically lets you create your own prefabs, but honestly, it's a bit of a nightmare to use, so I tend to avoid it. It's very finicky and anything built inside it is permanently deleted if you accidentally remove the device. The reality biome from Vibin was added as a gallery set with pretty purple trees and big mushrooms. This is a super underrated nature gallery with some really beautiful and unique assets to spice the environment with. The creative exclusive festival gallery was added with some unique blossoming cherry trees and other festival assets. Joining the festival gallery is the exclusive bamboo gallery with some nice bamboo clusters to use. The ability to leave a like on islands was added in this update. This is a strange addition as creators cannot see how many likes the islands have or who has liked them, and players can like an island an infinite amount of times, so who knows what this seemingly pointless UI element really does. The Block 2.0 was introduced with Chapter 3 Season 3, where creators could submit their building designs to help rebuild tilted towers. The block was a really cool feature of Chapter 1, so it was great to see a return, but the event was plagued by UI issues that many users saw as rigging the system, as the building that was auto-selected when going to vote for a winner would be the building that won every vote. And also, it was pretty limited, you could only use pieces from the Tilted Towers gallery sets and nothing else. Not very creative, if you ask me. This was a super cool concept that I do hope is revisited. The execution was poor, so if the Block 3.0 ever happens, the way it is voted on needs to be changed. 21.10 was a small but sweet update with some good additions. The item placer device allows all weapons, consumables, and resources to be used as props that can be interacted with or purely decorative. This is one of those devices a lot of people wanted for a long time, or they didn't know they needed so badly, so I'm very glad we finally got it. It's super useful for decoration and immersion. The option to hop on the back of a wildlife and ride it was added, giving them much more utility and making them another form of mobility. It's just a lot of fun to hop on the back of a wolf and ride around a forest with your feral buddy. The option to hire guards as part of your squad, like you can do with characters from VR, is a solid addition to the already pretty good guard device. Some new weapons and items from Fortnite Vibin were added, including the Hammer Assault Rifle, the DMR, which is the first ever marksman rifle in Fortnite, and the 2-shot shotgun. Truly the shotgun of all time. Also included is the Grapple Glove, a copyright-free version of the Spider-Man web shooters, which is really fun to swing around the world with. I'm very glad we got this one. 21.20 is another small update with mostly device updates, including making the baller have fuel for some unknown reason, but the main additions were in other areas. The Charge SMG and the Ripsaw Launcher, two very unique weapons from Vibin, were added along with the Firework Flare Gun, a summer reskin of the flare gun. Some small new galleries, including the Iridescent Mountains and Aurora Borealis, were added to give creators more options to decorate the world with. These are relatively small but helpful additions. Storm sickness occurs if you spend more than about 7 minutes in the storm in a match, and it begins to accelerate the decay of your health bar. It's nice to have this in creative, although I'm not really sure how many maps will have the opportunity to spend that long in the storm. 21.30 was the big no sweat summer update of 2022 with an absolute ton of content for creators to enjoy. The player marker device creates a marker to display player information like their username, health and shield, and more. It's a pretty tricky device to set up, but it's useful for setting up ranking systems, bounties, and other mechanics. The creative exclusive Deserted Fortress prefabs and galleries were added, bringing some really cool new castle assets and even a unique sideways growing tree. Vibin was a big season for creative exclusive assets, and this set is the culmination of that, with this being the first creative exclusive prefab since the Spooky Mansion in Chapter 2 Season 7. The Waterfall Gallery finally adds customizable waterfalls to creative, and I can't tell you how long I was waiting for this. Waterfalls just add so much to an environment, so this was a fantastic addition for environmental design. The creative exclusive Cuddle Tree prop was added. I have no idea what this is or why it exists, but it gives me Deku Tree from Zelda vibes and I'm here for it. The Prime Shotgun weapon was added. It's a really unique shotgun that does more damage when firing with a full clip. As someone who reloads every 5 seconds, I'm a big fan of this shotgun. August kicked off with a surprise hotfix for creative to add some awesome new assets. The Bony Burbs POI from Primal Season was finally added as a set of prefabs and galleries after being added to the files all the way back in Chapter 3 Season 1. This is a great set with some really nice, unique props, including assets from the long-lost Salty Towers. The No Sweat Summer Gallery was also added, bringing a lot of the assets used at the Sanctuary during the summer event to creative, including finally adding the floaties from Chapter 2 Season 3. The 5 ice cream items from No Sweat Summer were added. There's the standard ice cream, the icy feet ice cream, the spicy speedy ice cream, the guzzle juice ice cream, and the absolutely insane chug jug ice cream that heals full health and shield in half a second. The conclusion of No Sweat Summer brought another small update with some neat additions. The level loader device was added as a companion to the level instance device. I literally have never used this device, but I'm sure there's a specific group of mentally deranged individuals who enjoy it. The Primitive Alphabet Gallery finally adds regular alphabet letters to creative, meaning creators no longer have to painstakingly make letters out of primitive shapes. Ending off August is the final update of Chapter 3 Season 3, which ended things with a bang for creative mode. The Melee Manager device, which has been in the works since Chapter 2 Season 8, finally released along with the basic sword and basic hammer items. This is a game-changing device that can create fully custom melee weapons with unique rarities, names, stats, and attributes. The Melee Manager is easily the best device for creator customization to date, and it was well worth the wait, although the initial memory cost could do with being a little lower. And what happened to the basic spear? No! The Colossal Crops POI from Fortnite Primal was added as a set of prefabs and galleries. This was a super unexpected addition, but it means that every Primal POI is now accounted for in creative, which is really awesome, and it brings some more unique assets for wild maps. The IO's Bridge facility from the Fortnite Imposters LTM was added as a set of prefabs and galleries, coinciding with the removal of the Imposters LTM. Another unexpected addition, this set adds some really cool and unique tiles, but unfortunately much of the bridge is not accounted for, and most of the props are missing. Still a really cool addition though. The Color Picker Foliage and Grass galleries were added in this update, which gives creators full customization over the colours of the grass tiles, some flora, and the Chapter 2 oak trees. This update was huge for customization and the ability to create custom biomes, and I still use these trees today. The Rainbow Royale flag was added as a prop so creators could add some LGBTQ+ community representation to their maps. This is a big step for representation in Fortnite creative that I welcome with open arms. The option to edit in first person mode was added, which is a really cool addition. but unfortunately it only works while the phone is selected, which can make switching back and forth feel weird and jarring. Plus, I'm just used to the third person view, so I don't really use this mode a whole lot. The huge controversial change of this update is the reverting of memory improvements made over the past few months, and the patching of some memory related exploits. This update destroyed a large number of XL islands with a lot of content in, and forced creators to significantly cut back content, or in some dire cases, even restart. This even affected several of my projects at the time, which ended up indirectly changing the course of my creative career in the long run. So at the time, I think this update was largely seen as negative, in spite of its fantastic new additions. There you have it, Fortnite Creative in Chapter 3 Season 3. While Battle Royale may not have been the vibe it was advertised to be, creators sure were vibing with the incredible array of new additions throughout the season. Vibin was one of the best seasons for creative, while ironically being one of the worst for BR, but keeping the sun memory nerf and the general lack of utility for some device additions into consideration, I'm still happy to give Chapter 3 Season 3's creative a 9 out of 10. Vibe on!